Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Come on, come on. Party. Oh, come on, Pet. Oh yeah. Come on.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
Go, 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 go.
Go.
Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Yeah! Cool! See ya! Hurry up! Right on! Hurry up! See ya! Hurry up! Hey, go! Go! Hey, go!
Hey. Oh.
Yeah. Work it? Ready? Work it?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Ready? Ready? Work it? Nice. You got it? Fire! Ready? Work it? Work it? Ready? Okay.
STPL.
Hello guys and welcome to the final day of the STPL Season 4 group stage. My name is Kix. If you're joining us for the first time, this has been a 9-week long tournament so far and we're about to head into the playoffs this weekend. So this is the final series of the round robin, which is kind of cool. We've got NetWars versus Clan Revolution. Starting us off, we're going to have Tarson versus Aeternum, but then going to have a TVP as well between Kogut and Narsil. A TVZ between Ziggy and Hirmu, and then a PvP between Yeti and Scarf. So it should be a good set of matches today. We only have one non-Terran game, which is kind of exciting for me, because it means I get lots of Terran today. And we're going to have an announcement at the end of the stream, so that should be kind of cool. So yeah. Let's get into the first game. It's a TVP and it's on Charmander. Having a look at the map, we've played not too many games here so far, but we've gone 2-2 with TVP so far. So kind of, at least on the very small sample size we have, it's been a relatively balanced map. Obviously, we can't really say too much given there has only been 4 games, but this is actually going to be Tarson's second game on this map, and he did actually lose when he played on this last time against Oya. So he's going to be trying to get his revenge here, trying to beat his demons here on Charmander. Let's see if he's going to be able to as we get into game number 1. Okay, starting us off up here in the top left-hand position, we do have in the red fighting for NetWars. It's Tarson. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left in the blue fighting for ReV. It's Aeternum. Now, if I remember rightly, Aeternum is from Latvia, Tarson is, of course, from Poland. So, not too far in terms of geographical distance. And it's a geological distance. I guess technically that might be true, but probably not. After this series, there is going to be a week break, and then we'll be back with round one of the playoffs. Not this Friday, but next Friday they will be playing. Well, maybe Friday, or we might do it Monday. They'll be played this Sunday though, so all the teams that are in the playoffs are going to send me their lineups today, and I'll release those lineups tomorrow, so they can all get ready to play their games. Now I do have a little bit of sad news. I don't know if he wants to keep this private, but currently Yeti is suffering from COVID, so hopefully he's going to be feeling better soon, because that's not good. But Yeti played this game before he come down with COVID, so, or not this game, but his game this series. So I imagine we probably won't see Yeti in the playoffs, but you never know. He might feel up to it, he might not. COVID seems to affect people in different ways, so... Gate Gas Core coming in for Eternum. Tarson going for Rax Gas. Both players doing incredibly standard build orders here, nothing really out of the ordinary whatsoever. But yeah, let's hope for a speedy recovery for Yeti, because I know a couple of people have, well, I probably know about 4 or 5 people have been really lucky out of the people I know have ended up getting it. And all of them have recovered quite fast. But there's a lot of people who haven't, and it's very, very sad, so... let's hope he's one of the lucky ones. All I know is with how crazy it is in the UK, I don't even want to leave my house. It feels like it's that bad that if I step outside my front door, I'm just gonna get COVID. That's how bad it is here. So I'm doing everything in my power to stay away from it, just to keep myself safe until I get vaccinated eventually. Okay, Tarson gonna come in and get a good scout off now. Eternum unfortunately is not gonna have that kind of luck. He is not going to be able to get in at all with the Marines out in the front of the base. Now Tarson isn't expanding just yet. He's not going for two factory or anything. He is going to expand behind this, but he's going to go for a vulture before he goes for a not a command center. Well, he is doing that as well, but before a machine shop, which is crazy. You don't often see that in TVP, just because 2-gate Goon can be so powerful if you delay your tank long enough. But I reckon he is probably going to go into a mine expand here. The Vulture actually going to show itself to the probe, so he's not going to try and come in secretly to try and do any damage. Does miss the kill on the probe, so we'll get it eventually, but losing that little bit of health is kind of annoying. We can already see a probe is coming back here to block the ramp, waiting for this third Dragoon to come in. Now, of course, there is 2 ramps going into the main on this map, which is kind of strange, but this is the problem with going for the Vulture first. Look at this. Tarson only has 3 Marines. The bunker is not yet, well, the bunker's just finished, but he's got no units anymore, so with no units to go into the bunker, your bunker is kind of pointless. You need the Marines alive. He's got the SCVs out here at the front. He's going to have to repair the bunker in spite of having nothing in it. That is the rough thing. The Dragoons were in range of the bunker. Luckily enough for Eternum, it wasn't as heavily damaged one that was there, but oh my god, he's going to lose it. Oh, it's on 3 health. 1 more hit. I would send the Marine out and kill this. It's definitely worth doing. But it looks like the tank's going to come out and finish this off anyway, so boom goes the dynamite. Tank gets one of the Dragoon kills. Will get the second one as well, but will need to repair his tank up after this, just to be sure. Vaniox in chat saying bunker range is asymmetrical. I did not know that, but I also don't know what that means. English is my native language, and when you say asymmetrical, it's that's a rough word. I kind of get what it means, but I don't actually know in this context. Ah, apparently bunker range is different on different sides. Ah, that's what asymmetrical is. That's it. I guess, but isn't that just distances in general? Like, stuff shoots further going bottom left, I think it is, or like top right. Like, I think it's either shooting bottom left or shooting bottom right is lower range than shooting upwards, if I remember correctly. I know there's definitely something to do with that in TVT with tank lines and stuff like that, like in certain positions, like a tank on one side will have the advantage. It's really strange. I think it's due to the way the distances are calculated in Brood War and what distances look like as well. I think maybe the distances are always the same, but they look smaller, or they look further maybe, based on how hexes and stuff work. I'm in no position to talk about that as if I know what I'm saying, so please take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Now we've got a single tank taking down this temple. This means he's going to be able to go for a third base at a middle only very quickly. Aeternum going to expanding to the middle of the map. We've not actually seen any player do this so far on this map, but looks like Aeternum's not going to be able to do it either, given... Can you not build here? I think you can build a pylon. Maybe not. I guess not. Yeah, so as just the guy in chat says, distance is the same, it's our perspective that makes it look different. It's because we're not looking straight down. Oh my goodness, Aeternum got so lucky there. I like how this vulture's like, come and kill me. And Aeternum's like, no. Aeternum doesn't... Oh! Oh, nice micro. Nicely done. ReV is a team, they are Clan Revolution. And NetWars are the other team, of course. This is a team league, if you've ever seen the STPL before. But, I mean, we've been going for 9 weeks this season. This is our 10th week, and season 1, 2, and 3, when you total them all together, lasted about 2.5 years. So... it looks like Aeternum is going to go for a wall in here to help defend against vultures at his third base. We've got Tarson maybe looking to push forward here. He doesn't actually have that much, but he does have around 6 tanks. He's got a good number of Marines, bringing some SCVs as well. And how is he going to reinforce this? He's got Charon boosters coming in, and he is going to go for mass vultures behind this. Now, Tarson could hit a very, very important timing here because Aeternum doesn't really have all that much. And this could be a very, very strong timing push. Look at the Dragoons at the front taking a lot of damage there already. We're going to have a... I think I'd prefer a bunker coming up first, but look at this. ReV coming in behind. ReV going to be doing a load of damage here to help defend this. No kills on the ReV so far, though. Does get 2 of the tanks. And it looks like that may have just about been enough damage for... Aeternum to be able to clean this up. He is at least going to heavily damage the tank count, and that might be more than enough to hold on. But we've got more Goliaths, more Dragoons coming in, more Vultures, more Mines, and we've got a lot of Observers in a lot of trouble here. Looks like the Dragoons want to get on top of the tanks. If they can kill the tanks here, this push is going to go south. The Marines will die to a Mine drag, and Aeternum is safe. Looks like one Vulture did get its way into the natural mineral line, but didn't do too much damage. Obviously, the ReV didn't do any SCV damage, so Tarson is still technically in the lead in workers. But Aeternum is definitely not in a terrible position right now. He killed a ton of the tanks that Tarson has spent the entire game building up so far. Tarson, of course, on his third base here at the mineral only. But Aeternum is definitely going to be feeling pretty good about that now. He does need to make sure that his probes do not die on the way over to the third base, so the Dragoons on the front should help with that a little bit. And we are going to see a 4th base coming in down here at the other natural. So Aeternum knows he's in a good position. He is going to play, I would say, greedily to try and come back in this. He's not going to tech up super fast. He's going up to the Citadel now, which of course we as the observer can see that Tarson has just scanned. So Tarson knows that Aeternum is most likely expanding, and this could gear Tarson to go for another timing, but I think his armory was actually quite late. Yeah, so he's got +1, but he's got no science, or his science facility is just finished, and +2 is late. So that means any further pushes are going to be slightly weaker based on the timing. But there we go, +2 only just now starting up. That's actually very late in this game. And yeah, Ivaniok's pointing out that the turret is actually blocking the way to the mineral, which is a bit of a pain, but it at least keeps him safe, I guess. Now we're going to have another Reaver actually going to be running through the path that the Dragoons have cleared up. So this is going to be able to get to Tarson's base completely unhindered. And this is a very strong drop location for Reavers. So let's keep an eye on this. How much damage can be done? Don't drop near the turret. You've got no reason to drop there. But looks like the Reaver's going to come out. Massive Reaver Scarab to start us off with 4 kills already. 5 kills, 6 kills, 7 kills on the workers. The shuttle did go down though, so this Reaver is stuck. It's not going to be getting away here, and that is why he shouldn't have dropped near the turret. But gets a massive Scarab off on those tanks. Will the Zealot kill it? No, it won't. And looks like Tarson has managed to hold that, but does lose his probe lead, or his SCV lead. Lucky Noob in chat saying the SCV should be paid overtime. He has to go around the turret. You think SCVs get paid anything? They don't get paid shit. Like, they are literally grunts. Oh my goodness, this isn't actually Vulture tight, so these Vultures going to get in, do a lot of counter damage here. The second wall looks a little bit more Vulture tight, so that does mean he's able to hold on here. But he did lose the small lead he got in workers as that went on. But the 4th base is up and running now, still only on 2 gas though, which means Aeternum is going to be struggling for gas a little bit. Makes it a little bit harder for him to tech up as fast even. Scan coming down, seeing the Templar Archives is just finishing up. Mindflayer saying Terrans are all convicted criminals, they pay each other. They're not all convicted criminals though, they were from convicted criminals, right? It's basically the Terran race of humans in space are essentially Australia. Like, humanity sent out a ton of like criminals to colonize a galaxy, and that's what the Terrans are. But I think time has passed since they started colonizing, so they may have like come from convicted criminals, but they're not convicted criminals anymore. Tarson doing a pretty good job laying mines absolutely everywhere, but Aeternum definitely doing a very good job cleaning these up, reducing the amount of map vision that Tarson has. Now Tarson expanding to his 4th base here. That's going to give him access to his 3rd gas, make it a little bit easier. Thank you down Alex, by the way, for the bits. I noticed that before, but forgot to say something. +2 attack is done, but rather than going for... Oh, he is going for +3 attack. Okay, so it's going to be 3-1 coming in here for Tarson. As I mentioned before, a little bit late, but Aeternum is definitely doing an incredible job at making sure to cut down on the number of, or the amount of vision that Tarson has right now, and that is so important. We've got double shuttles coming in here, triple shuttles actually. We've got a storm drop ready and willing to go for the tanks. This is one of my favorite things about modern TVP, the usage of High Templar from a lot of Protoss players. It was one of the reasons why Jangbi was always so exciting to watch, and we're finally getting to see it again. People just kind of gave up on High Templar for ages. Everyone's like, well, we're going to go for Arbiters. And then every single game, Arbiters would lose Protoss the game. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. The thing is, back in the day, like, okay, so when you look far enough back in the day, you had Nalra and Kingdom. And Kingdom especially, his style was entirely gateway units. He didn't build carriers, really. He didn't build Arbiters. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have Protoss trying to push into the Terran base here. Not too sure how well this is going to go, but there's not actually that much here defending. The High Templar on the high ground going to be used to go for some of the units. Not really much else going on the map, so let's hide the minimap for the time being. Take a good hard look at how good this engagement is. Looks like Aeternum going to be able to clear up most of the base so far, but does want to make sure not to lose his whole army. as we have seen in TVP that can be the death of a Protoss, and it's why Arbiters are so damn weak when you compare them to Templar, because Templar can trade Arbiters. If you get EMP'd, that is it. Now Tarson going to take a supply lead here, but of course Aeternum does have his bottom right hand base, but still only on 2 gases. And not taking this mineral only either. I think Tarson has actually taken a pretty big advantage here, because now he's going to be on 3-1 upgrades as soon as these finish. He's maybe pushing out a little bit too soon, but he can sense weakness. But imagine if Aeternum had a bunch more Storm here. This army wouldn't be as good as it looks, but here we go. Looks like we are going to have Terran engage. Going to come in completely unsieged. There is nothing that he has to worry about here, and in one fell swoop, it looks like he's going to be able to win the game. Miss Storm, which is why storming is so much harder. But we had an EMP come down as well, but I think this could very well be game. Obviously, Aeternum has the option of going for mass gateways in the bottom right and coming back another way. But this is definitely looking a little bit rough. Storm is going to be his way back into the game, but can he make the storms count? That is the question that we all have to ask. And right now it's not looking like he can. He has very little room. Nice storm there to clean up some of the vultures. But the tanks are really the unit that you need to storm. You have to damage them. You have to make it so that Terran lose their tanks, and that means you can push out with Dragoons. But looks like he is going to kind of hold on to the bottom left while he expands down here to the bottom right. And he can come in for a flank to clean this up. But I definitely feel that this is going very, very well for Tarson right now. Tarson moving forward into the middle of the map with loading units. He knows his opponent is contained in the bottom left. Scan coming up. Seeing the final units coming in. If he can siege up on this ridge, he is going to be in a very good spot. Oh my god, the mine's coming off as well. Looks like he is going to try and break through. Let's zoom out just a little bit to get all the action on the screen. Looks like we've got a Zealot Bomb in the back, which is helping out quite a lot, but Tarson is a machine right now. GG. Aeternum taps out and Tarson wins game number 1. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
oh baby. Come on, party. Come on. Oh baby.
Oh yeah.
Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Hey, come on. Hey.
Wow.
Hey, DJ. Come on. Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Hey, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Too bad. Hey. Go, 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 go.
Oh.
Party. DJ.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going into game number 2 here. The map we're going into is going to be Paradise. Both of these players have actually played this map before. Narsil played it once and lost, and Koga has won one, lost one. Neither of them, I think, have actually played this in PvT, so it's going to be kind of cool to see how this goes. We've only had 4 PvTs so far on this map. There's not really too many TVPs that happen in the STPL anyway, but you can see we've had a lot of ZVP here. Zerg definitely having a little bit of an edge here over Protoss, but I think that was always going to be the case. And to be honest, it feels like that's the case on every single map. So let's get into it. It's game number 2. It's Koga versus Narsil. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner in the red, fighting for ReV from Portugal, it's Narsil. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the magenta, fighting for NetWars. It's the Polish powerhouse himself. It's Koga. So we've got another TVP, and this time we've got the Terran music. I am truly being blessed today. And we have one of the best Terran versus Protoss players outside of Korea here for us now. Narsil, definitely going to be up against the ringer. I think ReV in general, you could say that they may struggle a little bit against NetWars, but you can never count anyone out whatsoever. Now, of course, we are on Monday right now, so we've got another long week ahead of us. Monday at work is always a pain, but we're making it. Yeah, and T-Bell, I wouldn't take what Fat Molding Brood War player is saying today. I think he's just annoyed that it's Monday. He got out the wrong side of the bed this morning or something. He was angry before the stream started as well. Okay, so we don't have a proxy gateway or anything, but I do wonder if Narsil is going to go DTs. Koga has actually historically in the STPL struggled a lot against DTs. You'd think with someone of the caliber of Koga, where when you look at his all-time top streak in TVP, he won 6 in a row before losing. Like, and especially like when you're a Terran on ladder, especially when you're first playing, because he didn't start as Terran, he started as Zerg, which maybe gave him a little bit of a leg up because he kind of knew how to deal with cheese, unlike when I started. But on ladder, all you get is DT players, like all the time. Maybe it's different for Koga given he's S rank and he's like super high level. But at least to get to the point where he's at, he must have faced DTs so many times, and you can still lose to them, right? It's not like... That's one of the amazing things about Brood War. You can play against something like 1,000 times, and it will still beat you. And one of the games he lost was he essentially just didn't get detection in time, and he just died. Like... That happens in Brood War. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are. If anything, that should probably make you feel a little bit better. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, even Bonith dies stealing all ins. You know? And with the predictions, as Lucky Noob points out, 20.6k points against 10 points here. I kind of hope Narsil wins now just to sort out. But looks like Caster Muse is saying that he all-in on Koga, so we'll have to see how that goes. Lukey Bear's saying Bonith doesn't lose. Bonith definitely loses. It wasn't until recently in the SCPL when, like, before last season when he joined Seoul, Bonith was doing terribly in the STPL. Like, Bonith is not, at least he wasn't, the best of one player. But recently he's got a lot better at it. But he does still lose to Ling All-Ins. Like, he lost to Eon Zerg a couple of times in the STPL. Thank you, T-Bell, for the sub, man. Means a lot. I don't know if that was in response to what Fat Molding Brood War player just said, but I guess we'll find out. Now, Koga doing a pretty good job scouting around. We've got a 28 Nexus coming in. Sorry, a 23 Nexus, I guess this was, coming in from Narsil. He's going into his Robo as well, so probably going for Observers as follow-up, but ReV is something you can do off the back of an expansion. We saw in the last game that ReVs can be used quite well to give you a little bit of an advantage, but obviously Aeternum struggled a bit with the follow-up progression from Tarson. And now Koga still scouting around, just checking, because as I mentioned, Koga has lost to proxy DTs quite a lot in the STPL, so he is checking everywhere to make sure there isn't any hidden buildings. Gonna try and go into the main. He will, of course. Oh my god, the probes, traitor probes, gonna allow the STB into the main base. The observatory is gonna get scouted, and Koga is gonna be feeling very happy to know that there are not invisible people running towards his base right now. And you can see, as soon as he knows that there's no DTs coming, he moves his wall. Oh, that's really funny. He was so certain there was DTs coming his way, I think. Now, what's going to turn out is I'll tune into Koga's stream after this, and he'll say like, oh no, I didn't expect DTs at all, and I'm just reading into it wrong. But either way, I'm going to take down this Lurker Egg, going to give him free access to a third base. The third base is, of course, just behind here. The way the third base is set out on this map is kind of like if you've seen the map Mist, which was one of the SSL maps. It's kind of reminiscent of that with how easy it is to take. I guess if you look back, you've got Great Barrier Reef as well as Outsider as well. Now, speaking of Outsider, it's actually one of the maps I've been thinking about putting in the STPL for a while. What do you guys think of Outsider? Do you like it? Do you want to see games on it? I know people don't mind playing it, which is a good thing. It was on the ladder forever, so hopefully, if I put it in, people won't complain. But going up to 3 factories, 1 starport for Koga, as Koga gets ready to build his science facility on time. Now we're going to have a third base coming in. Looks like Koga did scan to try and see what the tech was. Didn't really see too much so far. Mind Flare saying he only likes Luna. And yeah, Lucky Noob has just posted a picture of Outsider in the chat. It was in ladder for quite a bit, and it is a really fun map to play. But there was also Outsider SE, which is the one I would use. But I kind of didn't put it in previous seasons because I had Great Barrier Reef and it was very similar. And this season I've had this map, which is kind of similar but not quite. It's one of the first games, it's one of the first maps that really made me think that maps in Brood War are awesome. Because essentially I love the way that minerals are used to block paths. I love the way you can skip workers over to build proxies. And I love the way like you can give up center map control to expand around the edge. I think that's really, really cool. But Koga getting ready to push forward, going for this observer if he can, but doesn't quite manage to kill it. Thing is, TVT on Outsider is absolutely incredible, but I will never get to see it even if I put it in the STPL, because the number of TVTs we get is so minuscule compared to every other matchup that there's no point in me picking a cool TVT map, because I'll just never see it anyway. I mean, to be honest, every map is cool in TVT. Now, third base being taken here by Koga. Narsil still hasn't taken his third just yet. We're going to see him go up to... or double Citadel, actually. I think this is probably a mistake. Lucky Noob. Any 3-player map is usually pretty good for TVZ. Yeah, Bloodbath is cool in TVT as well. It's just, like, if Zerg didn't exist, Bloodbath would actually be really cool. But Zerg are just too strong on Bloodbath. Like, Protoss can't be Zerg. You can't wall in fast enough. Terran can wall in, and they can survive, but you're at a massive disadvantage on Bloodbath. That is why Bloodbath is essentially ZVZ Mania. Because it's, if you don't send a Zerg on Bloodbath, then you're playing the wrong game, right? It's like Central Plains. Central Plains had a nickname of Protoss Plains on Team Liquid back in 2009 or 2010, whenever it was. It was a map made for Proleague with the Proleague logo in the middle of the map. It looked amazing. There was like 20. No, there was like, how many was it? Okay, so there was like 8 other matchups on that map. And then you had like 48 PvPs or something. I wonder the number. If I remember that correctly. I'm just checking TLPD while I'm casting. Don't mind me. We've actually got a drop in the main base, which I should have been paying attention to. But 5 kills on the probes. Not really too much of a big deal on that drop. Looks like another drop coming in with a tank. This time going to drop behind the minerals. That is going to be very annoying to deal with. Looks like the dropship, unfortunately, not really doing too much here, but this tank on the low ground going to be taken out by the... Oh, by the cannon. Going to get away, actually. There was 27 PvPs, 1 ZBZ, and there was 2, 6, 7 other matchups. That was it. Protoss Plains for real. Every game was PvP, basically. But it's a really fun map. It's just, it's so good for Protoss that there's no reason why you wouldn't send a Protoss there, basically. And now it looks like the Dragoons heading around the back, trying to find this dropship. Will be able to clear this out. Actually, dropping the tank here is quite a cool move, but oh, he's going to have to give up the tank, and he'll lose the dropship as well. But nice try, making some of the shots with the dropship to pick it back up again, but doesn't quite make it work out. Now, is this going to be the first long game we've had here where it actually splits in the middle like I thought it would do? Because it's kind of looking like it might do. Koga doesn't really look like he wants to go for a big timing push or anything. He's on his 8 factories here. 9 factories, sorry. His science facility's done, but... Oh, it's been done a while, so he's going to lift it up. He's got his +2 attack coming in. And Koga really showing why he's so strong. Like, his macro is insane. He's up at 66 SCVs. He's below 500 minerals. He's up 145 supply already. And he hasn't... Well, he's actually lost quite a bit of supply throughout this as well. So, Koga definitely playing very, very well again. Now, once again, our ReV Protoss players are not taking their 3rd gas straight away, and I'm a bit confused as to why. But maybe Narsil does have a reason. He does have quite a lot of gas banked up already. But I get the feeling it's just better to have that gas than not. Especially when you're going for double upgrades. Now, Narsil going to come in behind here and make use of the fact that his opponent's mineral line is... Oh my god, his units are being baited into the tanks. Oh, this is the worst possible move he could have made. You do not want to be doing this. You are never going to break that high ground position. GG, Narsil taps out. He knows he made a mistake. And Koga wins game number 2.
Where you going? Hey, hey. Hey, come on. Yes. Hey, come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 3. Starting us off in the bottom left hand corner of Pathfinder, it's ReV's captain from Finland, it's Hirmu. This is a best of 5. Every game is a best of 1 in the series. And starting us off down here in the bottom right hand corner, we have the previous captain. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Previous captain of NetWars, it's Ziggy. You may know Ziggy from him casting BSL a couple of times in the past. He is the Polish person who sounds more English than I do. Now, looks like we've got a lot of bets going towards Ziggy at the moment. So, Castamuse looking like he's a little bit heavily into NetWars here. He's bet 13.1k points on on Ziggy right now. 4k by Adele for Hirmu though, repping his fellow FBW brethren. His fellow Scandinavian brethren as well. Wait, no, Finland isn't Scandinavia, is it? It doesn't count. Does it count as Scandinavia? I can't remember. And Adele is France. Never mind. Ignore everything I said. Nordic, that's it. But yeah, you're French, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're Norwegian for some reason. I think it's because everyone's Norwegian in Brood War. It's Nordic. But not Scandinavian. Oh, Adele lived in Finland. Wait, do you know Finnish then, Adele? Or did you just get by with English? Because every Finnish person I've ever met can speak English, so I just assume that everyone in Finland knows English. Like, I guess that's probably wrong. Now, Hirmu coming in with some drone micro here. Is this Cadenzi? Is anyone going to check Hirmu for oh my god, is he going to get the SCV? No, he's not. Okay. Now, I've just realized Ziggy actually went for a gas steal. A gas steal against Zerg is one of the weirdest things you can do because it basically serves no purpose. They're gonna get the gas anyway. It's not like when you go a gas steal against Terran where it like really severely limits what they can do in TVP. Like, Zerg aren't that worried if their gas is a little bit later. They're gonna get the lings anyway, they're gonna kill your gas incredibly quickly. And if anything, you're just hurting yourself. But Ziggy is going to go for a factory, so he's going for a tech opening. Which kind of makes me wonder why forcing more lings is a good idea. Maitreya Rev says, Wiki says Finland is sometimes Scandinavia. Okay, I don't know what that would mean, but I guess we'll find out. Looks like Ziggy checking around for a hidden overlord. It is quite easy to kill the first overlord on this map. There's not really too many places you can hide it, but looks like the overlord's going to get away for the time being. The usual place you see them hide it is like here, but there we go. And there we go, looks like Ziggy's going to find the first overlord. This is actually a big win. Now, the SCV has actually made it impossible for these lings to kill the gas. He has to kill the SCV, but it means he can't get his gas yet. So he went for his gas at his natural first. Sunken coming up here. Oh my god, the evolution chamber doesn't finish in time. The Vulture gonna get into the natural. And looks like the SCV has finally been cleaned up, but these drones are in a lot of trouble now. Vulture's very, very strong, but looks like this Sunken is just out of position. It can't hit the Vulture, but there we go, it does go down. Only losing a single drone there, not the end of the world. But are we going to have 2 port wraith? No, it's going to be a single armory coming up behind this, so he's going to go into mech. Lucky Noob saying good thing for caster curse so the game can go on. Now we do have Ziggy, we do have Hyunwoo going for Hydras. Hyunwoo, based on previous experience playing against him, is actually really good against playing against mech, so hopefully that's going to give him a little bit of a better chance against Ziggy here. I would definitely class Hyunwoo as the underdog, but Ziggy hasn't been playing as much recently, and he was actually really annoyed that NetWars put him in their roster. Wait, that's actually something I should probably double check. Okay, no, we're fine. Because Ziggy was so annoyed he got put out. I think it was because he was in the middle of exam season. He was like, remove me from the roster. And I'm like, okay. There we go. Queen's Nest coming in. So Hyunwoo is going to go straight for... He may not go for Hive here. He may do the Liquid Drone build where essentially you go for like a timing attack with Broodling. And that would actually be really cool to see because Ziggy... I'm not really sure how much he goes mech. In the STPL, from Ziggy, we've not seen too many people or TVZs from him. We've seen 6 of them, and he's actually lost all of them. So Ziggy, his TVZ definitely not his strongest matchup, but when you look at the last 2 Zergs he played against Chauncey from Wiko, who was in VT last season. No, wait, that was this season. That was in January. I can't read. And he also lost to True Touch. So whether or not it's just the players he's played against he struggled with, but Hyunwoo on the meanwhile has played against 10 Terrans. He's won 1 and he's lost 9. But I think if I remember rightly, Hyunwoo has faced Scan 3 times. Every time that ReV have faced Soul, I think Hyunwoo has been stuck against Scan every time. So he's had a little bit of a rough journey here as well. So both these players maybe not playing their best matchups. But gonna see how cool it is for them to go up against each other. Now, Ziggy is over preparing for Muteless that just aren't coming. When you go for mech, you don't go for an academy very early. Like, you delay it as long as you can. You don't need scans. But that means he doesn't know what's coming his way whatsoever. He has no idea about the Hive. He's got no idea that there's no Sunken, no Spire even. And Hyunwoo is actually going to be in a very good position. Now, Hyunwoo is going to struggle a little bit to be able to try and expand, because there's not really too many places he can expand to without killing these vultures. But he does have an easy take third base here. He does have this main base, which I think is where Hyunwoo is going to realistically have to look to go for. But we already have the queens out here. Look at how majestic they are. Sadly, they're facing the other way, so we can't see their cool, weird faces, but... we should have Broodling coming in as well. So yeah, Broodling coming in. Hyunwoo is going to go for a 2-base timing attack here against our Terran player. I think he was actually going for Hive and he cancelled it as well. So this is an interesting build. It's not a guaranteed win, but Terran will often go for a lot of Goliaths early on, which are good against Mutalisks, but they don't really help against Hydras. So if you can Broodling the only tanks, you basically win the game. So if there's a situation that ReV can beat NetWars here, it's going to be this game. The last 2 games, they've been a little bit rough, but the Protoss players have been doing well until all of a sudden they weren't. But Hyunwoo is definitely in a good spot to try and take a game off Ziggy here. This is probably going to be kind of annoying for Ziggy to play against as well. Because when you're playing ladder, you don't really face this. It's only really people that know Liquid Drone and see his like recommendations going queens all the time that you kind of learn at how good this build actually is. Cadenza uses it quite a lot as well. And it's something Drone advocates for. And there's a damn good reason, because against mech is very weak early on. Like, mech gets better the longer the game goes on. The more tanks you get, the harder it is for Zerg. But if you just Broodling all the tanks, Like, look at this. There's one tank in the natural. What is one tank gonna do? Oh, now we can see their faces. Look at that. Look at their weird little eyes and their weird little mouth. Queens are so strange, man. They look so much better in Brood War than they do in StarCraft 2, though. Why they made queens what they did in StarCraft 2, I have no idea. Why did they need legs? Like, just make them fly. Why did they give them the role of, like, the macro machine? I don't understand. They were way, way cooler in Brood War. But either way, we do have a wall here, which is going to help a little bit, but Ziggy is preparing in his main against drops. Like, he is completely surrounding his base with turrets. He's getting ready for either a lot of muteless or a big drop coming in. And while he's defending against that, he's not defending his natural. Now, this could be an anti-timing here for Ziggy, as it looks like we are going to have the Overlord come in to give vision for the Queens. Doesn't quite get it, because there's a lot of Goliaths here, but the Goliaths are heading back into the main base. If Hyunwoo goes right now, he can win this game. Now look at this, we've got a Vulture coming around to the third base. There's no tanks, or there's no drones here just yet. But this is definitely going to be a rough timing for poor Ziggy to deal with. He's not got many tanks. He's only got 2 tanks at the front. The tanks on their own won't even beat this many Hydras. So this is definitely a rough situation. We've got a lot of Queens coming in. Broodling. Double Broodling going down. Triple Broodling coming down. Another Broodling on some Goliaths as well. And this is looking a bit rough here. Ziggy going to be losing a lot of his units. There's a single tank at the back. Goliaths can be quite strong against Hydras, especially if the Hydras are not fully on top of everything. If Hyunwoo can move forward, though, he's going to try and get a position on top of the tanks here. But the tanks on the high ground are going to be doing a lot of damage. No Broodling available to come in. And has Ziggy been able to do enough to hold on here? There's no... oh, the Hydra's getting on top of the tanks, so this could be a dangerous situation, but there's so few Hydras remaining. I think Ziggy's held on even. It takes a long time for Queens to get enough energy to Broodling again. So Hyunwoo is going to be coming back home with his tail between his legs, and his command center is going to finish. Now what would be good is if he sent a queen in and infested this immediately. But he probably doesn't want to waste his queens. Now, he did save his queens at the very least. He's going to be able to get the Broodling back up. But that was pretty much it all in for Hyunwoo, because Hyunwoo, he's only on 3 bases. He's only got 2 gas. There's no gas at the middle only. And it means that Ziggy is going to be able to take his third now without any issues. He's going to be able to go into a lot of tanks behind this. His upgrades should finally be coming in as well. We've got 1-1 already. But the main issue with that engagement is Hyunwoo's units weren't all fighting the army. Like, if all of his Hydras were attacking the Goliaths, rather than attacking this command center, he would have won the game. Now, Hyunwoo, where he did lose so many units, is not able to go into what Zerg really need to do against mech, which is essentially go for mass bases, mass expansions, and a lot of money. Third base going to be coming in here up at the top right hand position. We're going to have the engineering bay coming in here as well. That's going to help him build a wall up there, as well as allow him to rebuild turrets and stuff. +2 attack coming in. Vulture's coming around the right hand side of the map. Going to be going towards where he thinks the third base is. But there's still no base there just yet. So that's going to be a pretty big win for Ziggy, knowing that he's not going to worry too much. Now this is actually a good place to expand for Hyunwoo, because it is so far away. And so is this base as well. But Hyunwoo kind of currently stuck. His economy isn't super good right now. He doesn't have that many queens. So he's going to have to play this conservatively. He's got his hive up, but no hive tech units just yet. But +2 attack is coming in. That's going to help him a little bit here. Obviously against mass tank, armor does absolutely nothing. So you don't need to worry about getting that in TVZ against mech. Now Ziggy checking around, making sure that his opponent hasn't expanded anywhere, sending the engineering bay in here as well to check this base. But Hydra's being used to bait some mines down here. He's gonna allow him to go in. This is kind of funny. He's gonna send a Zergling in to eat the mines, and it's just gonna die immediately. And now the drone is as well. Drone turns around like, nope, I'm not going in there. Looks like the, oh my god, he's gonna go for the drone and not kill it. This is the little drone that could right here. Now the Overlord here gonna help him clean up the mines. Very, very important that you clean up mines. Vulture's coming around the top hand side now, trying to go to this third base. A lot of the drones actually got taken down over here. Very, very nice double-pronged harassment by Ziggy coming in at the 6 o'clock. Going in at the top, and you can already see another 2 drones being taken down. Ziggy's drone Vulture usage has been very, very good here so far this game. If we check, that's correct. He doesn't have a single mine available on any of these. Gets another 3 drones. Almost gets a 4th as well. And that means that Ziggy is in a pretty unstable position right now. Hirmu is stuck on 2 gas still. Expanding to a 3rd gas is going to be difficult. But he's going to have to try and do it soon. Aeternum versus Tarson was the other one. The ones I remembered. Usually I forget. Now, Hirmu did play this a little bit greedy. He didn't wall this in. You can wall this in with a hatchery. And he also doesn't really have any sunkens over there, so he's got no defense for his drones. And that can be a problem. So the first game was Aeternum versus Tarson. The second game was Koga versus Narsil. They're both TVPs. Whoops, I just muted the wrong part. I muted the desktop audio rather than my mic took off. That was a mistake. Yeah, so Hirmu needs to win if he wants to keep ReV alive in the series. But it looks like he's going to have trouble here. Now, if he can get perfect queen usage in here, we could see it happen. Let's have a look. Let's zoom fully out, see everything. 1 Broodling, 2 Broodling, 3 Broodling. Looks like he cloned a little bit wrong there, so wasting a little bit of energy, but is this enough units? Lings and Hydras coming in from behind as well. The Hydras at the front getting killed by the tanks. The Lings at the back getting shredded as well. And it looks like Hirmu may not have done enough here to the Terran army. Ling's still coming in though. Ling's very strong against Terran. But it looks like Ziggy is going to win this game with that fill swoop. We've got Ziggy at a supply advantage now. Ziggy at a base advantage as well. He's up 3 bases now. And this is definitely a little bit risky. Ziggy looks like he doesn't want to throw the game away. Gonna go back home just in case. And that is a very clever move. The amount of games you can lose as Terran where you think there's no way you could possibly lose, and then all of your army dies. And it is very sad. Now 2 Hydras up here, gonna be able to cancel this base. Looks like a single vessel coming in here, not gonna really help out too much. Maybe a little bit overkill sieging all of these tanks, but looks like he is going to try and draw the Hydras back in. No, he's just going to kill them normally. 2-2 upgrades for the Terran, only 2-0, or 2-1 actually for our Zerg here. Now, Lings are obviously the great equalizer in TVZ. Hirmu finally has some defense up here in the left-hand side, but he still doesn't have this 4th base. And that is where the problem lies. Yeah, and we don't have a Spire still, so what you see is what you get here for Hirmu. He can't really afford Muteless either, which is the problem. He is very low on money. Now we are going to have a counter coming around here to the right-hand side of the map. This can be very strong. Terran Mech is very strong in a ball, but it is very immobile, and that is something a lot of Zerg players refuse to abuse, essentially. Tanks and Goliaths obviously very strong when they're up against Lings, but Lings trade very efficiently with mech. But yeah, 3 base Zerg is when you really, like, 3 base Zerg is not going to be a 5 base Terran, or a 4 base Terran even. It's a 6 base Terran now, right? And that is not supposed to work. Mathematically, that is incorrect. Now looks like a Hydra going to try and do its best to clean this up. Tanks moving through the middle of the map. He's actually going to go past. And will Hinru be able to clone his queens? Looks like he may have been able to clone them, but not quite. And I think this may be the end of the game. A lot of Hinru's army just waddling into the tanks on their own. Queen's not going to cut it here. He will give us some cool highlight bait possibly. But he has to clone his queens perfectly, and that is so hard to do. Drones being killed at the front of the base. Queens coming in. 1, 2, 3. Only 3. Only 3 broodlings, but they look cool, so there we go. Vessel coming in through the main base as well. This is going to be the end of the game most likely. GG. Hinru taps out. Ziggy wins game number 3. Wins the playoff position for NetWars as well. And we'll be back in just a minute with game number 4. Just to clean up the series. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going here for our final game of the series, final game of the STPL Season 4 group stage. And it's going to be a PvP, starting us off here at the 12 o'clock position in the red, fighting for ReV. Fighting with his team's pride on the line, it's Scarfs. And his opponent spawning down here in the 6 o'clock position, fighting for NetWars. It's Yeti, current captain of NetWars as well. Actually, I think Catspore is the current captain. It's so confusing. So confusing. They've had so many captains, so many people confusing everyone. I don't know. Koga was the captain at one point as well. Apparently Yeti is the captain. Catspore helps when he can't. Okay, I'm very confusing. Yeah, he and Will is the captain of ReV, but Yeti is obviously the captain of NetWars. Now it's a PvP on Blindside. We've had a lot of PvP. Well, actually, have we? Let me double check. We have had 6 PvPs on this map, 5 ZVZs. So we've had a lot of Protoss and a lot of Zerg on here. PvPs usually last around 10 minutes on this map, so we could be looking at a relatively quick game, but it's Yeti. Now, if you guys don't know this, Yeti is an absolute monster in PvP. He's played 27 PvPs, and he's won 19 of them. He's won 70% of his PvPs in the STPL, and he's won a whopping 65% of his games overall. Yeti is one of the best players in the STPL, rank 19 of something like 300 or something in the ELO system. And Scarf's unfortunately not done as well. He's not played as many games, only played 2 PvPs in which he did lose. So a little bit risky here for Scarf's, but Scarf's definitely going to be trying to do his best to get his way through here and get a win over our Protoss hero from NetWars. Now, it's kind of funny, as soon as it spawned into a PvP, 20 people left. 20 people tuned off of the stream, but PvP is really fun. Like, people are sleeping on PvP, man. I'll admit, I didn't like PvP to begin with, and then I started casting STPL, and in Season 1, basically every other game was a PvP, and I saw so much of it, I came to start liking it. And it does not beat TBT. I can't read your name because it's too dark. Noah or Noah HD 42. It does not beat TBT, but PvP is still good. It's better than ZVZ. Sorry, Lucky Noob. I know you're in chat. TBT is the best matchup in the game. It's the most strategic matchup. Every single game of TBT is a masterpiece. Oh, there's people in chat saying ZVZ is the best mirror. Oh, I feel sick. Hold on, guys. I better run away. I'm gonna throw up. The thing is, like, people like their own matchups. People like the matchups they like. It's all good. I personally think that TBT is the best matchup because it's my favorite match to watch. Like, when you look at Pro TBT, it's very rare there's a bad TBT. They're always usually either super exciting early game, super exciting mid game, or super long and really cool. Like, there's very rarely boring TBTs. If you only look at foreign TBT from like the years 2004 to like 2008, there was a lot of boring foreign TBT. But pro TBTs, ooh, so good. Even foreign TBT these days, like Koga versus Terra, is always super exciting. And Medina versus Koga, Terra or Dandy, chef's kiss. So good. But in terms of what's going on in this game, we've got both players playing relatively defensively, both going for 2 gate. We've got 3 gate coming in here for Yeti, whereas Scarfs is going in for a Robo. One thing I will say is if we're matching, like if we're ranking matchups, I actually think TVZ is one of the worst matchups. It's not that good. Like, it's heavily... I think people are heavily biased because Jaedong versus Flash is so good. But when you watch ZVT, it's usually a stomp one way or the other. It's very rare you get super close CVTs. And the ones that are only because it goes late game and Zerg are like barely holding on with Swarm. Like, it's exciting, I guess, but I actually think late game ZVP is way better. So ZVP suffers because of the fact that Hydra Busts are so powerful, but as soon as you get past the early game, PvZ is better in every way than TVZ. I don't know. I think people are just biased with TVZ. Like, okay, so good TVZs are good, but bad TVZs are terrible. They are so bad. That's my opinion as a Terran player. I don't know. Like, I rarely see an average TVZ. It's either a good, like a really sick game, or it's really bad, like really horrible. PvT is my favorite matchup, but PvZ is my second, if we're not counting mirrors. I would say TVP, PvZ, ZVT. But looks like we are going to have Yeti push forward. He does have the numbers advantage for the time being. He did expand later, did go for an early third gate, and that means he has the chance of breaking in here. But when this Reaver comes up, that could be the great equalizer. Yeti going to have to make sure that he doesn't lose anything to this Reaver. Reaver's going to be very strong here. And I'm glad someone else in chat believes that TVP is better than TVZ. Like, the most exciting phase of TVZ is when the Mutelists are, like, harassing. But recently that doesn't happen very much, because Terran have got so much better that they just, like... Zergs can't really harass anymore. Like, I don't know. It just feels like a struggle bus, but oh, the first Reaver gets taken down. Yeti doing a ton of damage here at the front, but Scarfs with double shield battery doing a lot here to hold on. But looks like with the shield battery energy running low, second Reaver coming in. He may now have a chance to clean this up. Yeti, of course, is behind in... Well, he's actually ahead in workers throughout all of this, but his Nexus is very far behind. Revolution saying use shields. He did. They were out of energy, which is why he couldn't use them anymore. Like, he was using them quite actively throughout that entire engagement, so very nicely done by Scarfs. Now it's 4 gateway here for Yeti. Yeti actually went for 4 gate before he expanded. Now that is technically an all-in, but because he's done so much damage, he's able to pull ahead of Scarfs right now, and that is definitely what Yeti was looking for. Okay, Robo coming in for Yeti. Of course, the observers are already out for Scarfs, which means he is going to have the vision advantage. Knowing exactly what his opponent's doing for the time being, looks like Yeti getting ready to be aggressive again. One thing about Yeti's PvP is he can be very aggressive all of the time. It is so impressive to watch this man play PvP. It's not often you can say that about many Protoss players, but I would genuinely say that Yeti has some of the best PvP, at least in a best of 1 situation, in the entire world outside of Korea. Like, his PvP in the STPL has been incredible. Like, there was, for a long stint in Season 1 and Season 2, Yeti was so highly ranked, he was rank 1 for ages. He was killing absolutely everyone. He was one of the only players to take a game off of Bjol in a 40-minute TVP on Athena 2, where he beat a pro gamer. Like, Yeti is just incredibly good. His all-time top streak in PvP was 10-0. The only people that have beaten that now is Bonneth, who is ongoing, Noob, who is ongoing, and DeWalt, who lost his PvP streak recently. Like, Yeti is a monster. And you should definitely not sleep on Yeti. He never does as well in, like, BSL. But best of 1 suits his playstyle perfectly. He is so good. Now looks like Scarf's going to be coming in here. He's actually going to get sandwiched, which is not going to be good here for our red Protoss player. Oh my god, he's going to lose his shuttle. He should have just kept his Reavers down, but both the Reavers fall down here. The Dragoon's trying to fall back. Did he actually pick up the Reaver? No, he didn't. Okay, so looks like everything is going to be cleaned up here. Yeti is going to pull very, very far ahead from that engagement. Up 16 supply on his opponent. And yeah, you guys better do your homework on Yeti, because otherwise Kix is going to get mad. Because a lot of people sleep on him, man. He's so good. Like okay, so Yeti has played 64 games in the STPL. He's won 42 of them. That is ridiculous. In his last 10 games, he's beaten DeWalt and Medinho. He's beaten CRVT as well. Like, he's just killing it. Yeti is so good.
Reporting for duty.
Thank you, I want to say Daddy Fear, but there's like a lack of a D, but thank you for the raid, man. Lucky Noob saying sounds like a Protoss win rate. I guess. Maybe if you think the Protoss are OP. Castamuse once again went all in with his bet, by the way. I just looked at the prediction menu, and the bets, 3 people bet 16k points. Castamuse bet, so out of 16.4k points, Castamuse bet 16,368. He's just going all in on NetWars. Like, he wants him to win. I know that betting isn't available for everyone. It is only channel points, but I guess gambling laws in a lot of countries sort of come into play. We've got Templar coming in here for Storm. We've got 5, 7, 8 gateways. Wait, no, 5, 7 gateways. I can't count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways for his opponent. So he Scarfs is going to pull ahead in work or in units soon. He is behind in workers, but that means his army at the moment is bigger than Yeti's. So if Yeti tries to engage now, he's not only going to be up against Reavers, which are obviously going to be a massive help, but he's going to be against a bigger army. So Yeti cannot get complacent. He can't push forward too quickly here, or we could have a big problem, and Scarfs is going to find a way back into the game. But looks like Yeti wants to force the envelope here open as he moves forward into a position. He is going to have to be careful though, doesn't want to get sandwiched in. We do have High Temple here, both with almost enough energy for Storm. Storm looks like it's just finished researching as well. And Yeti just doesn't really have any tech units here, but look at this, the Reaver's sitting out at the front, getting a good couple of hits on the Zealots already. And Yeti going to go back home. Now Yeti pulling further ahead here. Third base has been up for quite a bit here. This is only 1,000 minerals per patch, I think it is. Yeah, 1,000 minerals per patch, so he's only just taken the base. But definitely going to be helping him out a little bit. No Kadarian Amulet or anything like that coming in for Yeti, so he's just going to go with the base energy. I guess Kadarian Amulet isn't as important in PvZ as it is, or in PvP as it is in PvZ, but still. It's still useful to get, I would say, because you're a Templar Swarm with 25 more energy, so I think they come out with 70 energy rather than 50, I think. So you're a lot closer to getting Storm, but I am not 100% sure on that, so as a non-Protoss player, please do not hurt me. We got Reavers coming into the main base. This could be a big, strong move here for Scarfs. He's obviously not going to have the Reavers back at home to defend, yet he does have a cannon here, which should be able to help defend against this. But how much damage can be done with it? 62 probes to begin with. 61, only 2 have gone down so far. Looks like one of the Reavers is attacking the Forge right now. Both of them are actually going to try and take this down. This is going to block +1 from finishing. Now, that's a lot of minerals to be spending to block +1. Could it be +2 actually? No, +1. Maybe not the best usage of the minerals, but still, I guess he is going to be able to kill it. Going to be able to get out of here as well. Looks like he drops the wrong Reaver at the front. Does lose one of them. But this second Reaver going to take out the Dragoon here. You come out with like 68 energy apparently. Cool. Yeah, lucky noob. I didn't know if he had +2 yet. Or +1 even. But looks like the Reaver down here is going to be cleaned up. Yeti coming in with... Oh, he misses it. Oh no, there we go. He will get it. Shuttle goes down. Yeti going to move into a position now to maybe look to put a little bit of aggression on. We have Scarfs out here trying to possibly secure his 4th base location. Yeti expanding as well. His Nexus already done. But you can see that pylon cancelled immediately. So, never mind. Now, looks like we are going to have an engagement here. Obviously, choking his army up is going to make Storm very, very strong here. But the same could be said for Yeti because he is going to have to push up the ramp as well. Lots of Storm coming off on the... oh, he's running High Templar and Storm. This is... oh my god. So many Storms coming down on top of everything right now. Storm is so weird in PvP. It looks so... like, you can't tell who storms who. And it's like, I really hope this player didn't just storm all his own zealots. It looks like we're going to have Scarfs going for long distance mining at the 4th base at the moment. Kind of interesting choice. Does make me wonder. No, okay, so it's not a replay bug. But Yeti is going to be at a disadvantage when it comes to his upgrades. Looks like I'll press the F5 button by accident, so we'll go back into Modern Brood War. Nice Storm there once again by Scarfs from the high ground. I really like Scarf's unit positioning. He's like kind of baiting Yeti to come up the ramp, and then he's just storming as he gets close. That is really, really cool. Now we've got another... oh, this could be good. Storm drop coming into the 3rd base. Yeti pulling his probes immediately though. Getting 4 probes, not too bad. Gonna be able to get away with one of these High Templar for the time being. But just while both players kind of don't attack each other. Oh, is Yeti going to go in here? Looks like he might do. He's trying to go over to the right-hand side. And there is nothing from Scarfs over here to stop him doing so. So this Nexus needs to be cancelled. He has to cancel the Nexus. There is no way this is surviving. But he's going to hold it. He's going to try and hold on. Storms blanketing Scarf's army as he tries to come back to defend. Great Storm usage here by Yeti. And Yeti's going to be able to take down this 4th base as well. Scarf's in a lot of trouble. His 3rd base about to go down as well. And it looks like this could be checkmate. Scarf's taking so much damage. Yeti with his 4th base over on the right or over on the left-hand side. Completely unopposed. And looks like this is going to be it. Scarf's is going to be able to take out a lot of Yeti's army here. Nice Storms. But this is just one part of Yeti's army. Yeti has another lot of supply elsewhere. The Nexus is actually not dead yet, but it will go down here immediately due to those Archons. And Scarfs is going to be in trouble, but the supply is still incredibly even. When you look at the army supply, it's not too bad for Scarfs. Scarfs can actually go for a counter push here. And we could still go on in this game, but we've got 2 DTs coming out now just to add insult to injury. Yeti gonna try and send his KP boys across the map to see if he can get some cheeky kills on the probes. He's got 2 observers watching this base, so he knows there's no detection here. And knows there probably isn't going to be any detection there for a while. Another Storm drop going to be coming in here though to the 4th base, so this is the big equalizing move you can make in PvP. But can he storm fast enough? And will he regret not having those storms here with his army? Looks like Scarf's taking a position just outside the forest, trying to keep an eye on what his opponent is doing. The storm drop not coming in just yet. Oh, but DT's coming into the 3rd base. This could be a big, big problem. But nice storms by Yeti here. Scarf's probes going down 2 at a time here. 34 to start us off with. The DTs are still going to town. Scarf's has not realized. And even his probes and his natural are going to be taken down here. The storm drop never came in, but that's a big storm on the probes. But when you've got no probes yourself, you're in a lot of trouble. And I think this could be checkmate. 9 probes against 49. Doesn't matter if he kills these 2 bases. He's killed the whole army though. He still has a big army. Is this going to be a weird base trade? This is such a strange situation to be in. Oh my goodness, Scarfs has got such a big army. Yeti has half the army size of Scarfs right now, but Scarfs can't defend his bases. He's got no economy. He has to win with what he's got here. Can he make it happen? Storm is going to be doing so much damage here. Doesn't quite kill all of the units. And it looks like Yeti's going to lose his third base. Yeti's mined out as well. But the trouble is, Yeti has a bank. He has the ability to rebuild units. Storm did come, or Kadarian Amulet did come out in the end, so he has got enough Storm energy to hold on. Looks like another Storm drop coming into the third, well, into the main here. Looks like he wanted to check this base down here, but he needs to bring those back home. And it looks like Yeti may have done enough. Scarfs is down to 40 supply. 37 of that is in army, and I have no idea where it is. But this, I think, has passed the point of no return. The third base did not fall. Yeti still has an economy, and he is going to be able to rebuild. Looks like it's nothing but Zealots. Nothing but net here. I don't know, well, for Yeti as he just throws a 3 here to get the 4-point lead over ReV. Looks like we are going to have a big Storm drop coming in, but is he going to be able to drop the High Templar? He drops 1. He missed Storms. Oh, that was so unlucky. But DT's here, there's no Observer. Even with, oh my god, the Observer comes in right at the right time. He's going to be able to clean up the DTs, but Storm, too good. GG. Scarf's tapped out, and Yeti wins game number 4. Winning the series for NetWars 4-0. Okay, so if we take a look here at the results, a 4-0 victory for NetWars, that's going to be enough to secure them their position in the playoffs. They actually finished 3rd, if I remember rightly. I need to double check because I did figure this out before and I've completely forgotten. But essentially, that is going to give us our playoff bracket for the next round. It's going to start on Sunday. Let's head on over and have a look at it. What we're essentially looking at is 4 teams go into round 1, 2 teams will advance into round 2. The winner of round 2 will go into round 3, where where Wiko are waiting in the semi-finals, and then in the finals, Seoul is the winner of the group stage, gets seeded all the way there. So Seoul are going to be waiting a while for their opponents. We've got some incredible matches coming up. NetWars versus Naz, which is insane. And IRK versus Ash as well. 2 incredibly good matchups. Going to be a lot of fun seeing both of those. Ash, of course, making their debut into the STPL playoffs for the first time. Naz making their 2nd appearance. IRK making their 4th appearance. And NetWars making their 4th appearance as well. So really, really cool to see them here. I think anyone could take it. The finals so far have all been great. Seoul have won all of them so far, but the first 2 finals came down to Game 7. The second final could have come down to Game 7 as well, but just a few unlucky games by IRK lost them the series. But we have an incredible playoff lineup coming for you. Week 1 will be cast next week. The quarterfinals will be casted the week after, semis the week after that, and the finals the week after that as well. So that's how it is. That's where we go. Now, my announcement is thank you to an incredible donation once again from Anonymous. We actually made our prize pool goal, and that means I have to honor what I said I would do, and the Dodal will be freed. You've won. It's happening. There's nothing I can do about it. I wonder if I can, to prove it, hold on. Maybe I can make people finally shut up about the Dodal as well. Well, we made our prize pool goal of $2,000, so that's really, really sick. We've matched the prize from here. The Dodal is not in my pants. That would be a little bit weird. Well, it wouldn't be weird, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want what they have in my pants. I wonder if I've got their logo still. If not, I'm gonna have to be I'm gonna have to use it again. Where are we? Why can't I find anything? Here we go. So, do I still have Red's old logo here? I never actually made Red's logo into 3D. So I am going to have to get that made again. But you know what? Let's have a look at Season 2's red logo. There we go. The doodle is free. Look at this. It's flying around the screen. It's what you guys wanted. And I bet you guys are happy now. You got what you wanted. It's all there. Look at him go. The doodle is free. Like a free range chicken or something. I don't know. Look at him go. Like, he can even be in the final. He can even be in the final. Yeah, this is the censored one. But yeah, the doodle is free. We did it. I'll keep my word. I don't necessarily want a shaved cock and balls on my stream, but I did say if we made the goal, we would do it, and we will. So there we go. That's going to be it for me. I will see you guys next week. I'm not sure what day I want to cast the playoffs. It's probably going to be Friday, but maybe Wednesday, depending on how I'm feeling. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'll see you guys then. Have a very good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I will see you guys for the playoffs. If you're watching this, you're watching the STPL. Hopefully, you've been enjoying what you've seen so far. If you want to help me make more STPL content to bring more tournaments to you, please support us on Patreon, which you can find up here. And also, there's so many different things you can get through Patreon. One of the main and one of the easiest ones to get is, of course, access to all of the replays of the STPL so far. We've had some amazing games, such as some of the games you can see just over here. And of course, one thing I do need to say, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for all the players for playing. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Esport Fund and Matrino, for both making it possible for us to get to that $2,000 prize pool goal, as well as all the people that have donated their hard-earned money to be able to make that a possibility as well. So we're going to go raid Koga. Let's go annoy him in his stream. And I'm going to go chill for the rest of my Monday evening.